really helps. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our wonderful, wonderful Wednesday afternoon little here for Landing Pages on Fire. My name is Rorik Gurney. I'm with the Partner Training Group here with Infusionsoft, coming to you live from Chandler, Arizona, just outside of Phoenix, home of the Infusionsoft headquarters, where, as usual, let me look out the window here to make sure. Yep, and really, really warm. That's our weather forecast for about the next 3 months here in Arizona. So if you're ever needing a little bit more vitamin D sunshine, definitely come our way. So we are thrilled to see some faces with us already. We have Barney, kind of our regulars there. Very happy to see it. Sue, you can see there with us as well. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you both with us. And we're going to go ahead and get this started. So Drew, of course, one of the founders of Convert, he is a master of all things landing pages related. So he comes with us today to share some of that wonderful knowledge, to basically take some of the drops from the deep well of his knowledge and share it with us, fill us up a little bit more and bring us hopefully closer to his level of expertise. So I'm going to go ahead, kind of be the MC here a little bit, available to answer any questions that may tie more to campaign builder, navigation software a little bit there. But Drew is definitely the star of the show. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic and the spotlight to him now and let him take it away. So Drew, go right ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, Rorik. And I'll go ahead and start sharing with my screen, my desktop. And let me know if you guys see my screen.
You can through now.
Perfect. Okay, so I will switch to the presentation mode. And hello, everyone that joined today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Barney, for attending and becoming our regular. Really appreciate you for the knowledge that we are sharing on the on this webinar. So for today's topic, we're going to talk about how to make some kick-ass sales letter videos like experts. So videos is like a craze that started, I think, in about, say, year 2012, 13-ish, with a lot of info marketers, a lot of products started using video sales letters. And the power of it is that you tell a really awesome kind of a story about a very niche product or service or a new product offering, and it gave a lot of attention. A lot of people started making a lot of money on the web using video sales letter. So today, what I want to do is show you guys how to not only create a landing page, but a funnel on it also. So I'll have some help from Rorik on some of the best conversion practices on how to get more people respond to your opt-ins and what have you within the campaign builder, the emails, what you want to be aware of, and how you want to tag some of your emails also once you pass your contact data from a landing page onto your funnel, your little automation inside of the campaign builder. So that said, today's topic, the background kind of goes into, an expert info marketer is looking to create a series of videos to build interest for a high quality, high offer product with the intention to launch a product at the end of the series. So idea is creating a few free videos and walking people from one video to the next video and keep building their interest more and more in the final product that's coming out essentially. The product could be a mastermind membership, or it could be a one-time digital product sale. So they could be releasing a new plugin for a WordPress, for example, or they could be releasing a video series of some sort, right? Like a membership-based kind of opportunity. What I noticed is once people gain expertise in a specific, criteria of their, what they're providing, video sales letters and membership sites really help them grow their sales big time. I think I'll do is I want to make sure if anybody is I want to make sure that I have the chats open because I will be sharing links along the way. So, pardon me over here. Okay, and so back to the presentation. And then, so the goal for today would be introduce a new idea in the market that is a paradigm shift in people thinking about how the product can be change the way visitors have experienced it in the past. So that's where video sales letters really shine, where you're making a paradigm shift, right? So in the beginning, for example, it was just websites, and before the website, it was like internet was completely new. People knew how to visit websites, and they were making money through banners and what have you. And internet was like back in the late 90s, internet was kind of an open space for everyone, right? And then came landing pages in like somewhere around in the 2000s. It was a new paradigm shift of people thinking of what is a landing page and how does a landing page work. I think about the time Infusionsoft actually launched their business, I was in 2005, around that year, is when landing pages started gaining popularity, but they were known as something else. They were known as sales pages, right? The long, lengthy sales pages or what have you. And eventually the name evolved as people started getting, acclimated with the term and what the landing page is and what have you. So, and that's where from that, gradually from the sales letters came video sales letters, which is more of video presentation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a person speaking to you, but it could be a slide deck presentation and somebody speaking on it, right? So that's what it was, and that's how kind of video sales letters kind of came about, and it started getting a lot of traction, a lot of attention, especially in the niche markets. People who were experts at something and they wanted to share that knowledge with others at a one-time fee or a membership opportunity. They started gaining a lot of customers in that sense. And then the outreach for reaching out to your customers for these landing pages will obviously be through organic traffic, paid ads, PR releases, sometimes also affiliates. So a lot of affiliate marketers use these links for these video sales letter pages, and drive traffic and help build this big momentum around them. So we'll kind of talk about that a little bit also today. With that said, let me switch to the next thing. So again, if today's topic will cover an info product that you want to capture the leads and then convert that into a sale eventually. And for more resources on strategy guides of sort, I always recommend you guys go to sites.google.com/infusionsoft.com/campaign strategy/home. It's a lengthy URL, but it has a lot of really cool strategies for people to get started with, people to start using Infusionsoft if they're new to it. Really great resource. I definitely recommend you guys visit that link right there. It might be kind of lengthy. We may share it in the chat to make it easy for you to click through and visit it. Yes, I think we can definitely put that in the chat, Barney. Let me see if I can copy the link. Yep, there's. Share a link right over here in the chat for you. And let's go back to the presentation. All right, perfect. And so the next thing is obviously anytime you create any sort of landing page, whether it's a sales letter, whether it's a upsell page, whether it's a downsell page, whether it's a video sales letter, you always want to make sure that you always make little yeses. The gradual yeses drive more conversion. I can't stress enough how the power of clarity, then credibility, building credibility and building appeal and exclusivity almost almost always works in your favor, where customers do not worry what they need to pay or what they need to do. They actually become excited. They actually are more prone to spending money with you, knowing know what you are offering and your service entails, because the way you market your message to them, right? And so with that said, today's pro tip is don't make a sale, sell a story instead. Now, the reason why I said, don't make a sale is, we become salesy. We try to pitch to somebody and we try to become too salesy, and nobody likes to deal with a car salesman, for example, right? Like, it's the most annoying process that we all have to go through when we are looking to buy a new car. They always try to ask their manager 10 times, come back to you, and run this whole scheme in a way for you, sales scheme for you on you, in a way to have you leave the car. Obviously you want the car, but sometimes the terms just don't make sense. And having bought a few cars, I just do not like that process at all. They always have to haggle you around and everything, and then if you don't buy a car, then you keep getting those repeated sales calls and repeated emails. So it just becomes a very annoying process that you just don't want to deal with, even if you want to buy a new car, right? But so idea is sell a story instead of selling you know trying to convince people to buy from you. And a really good example that I have is actually from a website. The gentleman is a good friend of mine. He runs this website called Business of Story. Parker is his name, and he's a local Arizona native. He teaches at the Arizona State University on business of selling, so the entrepreneurship program, and he's part of some big organizations. Sits on boards of a lot of boards, and he created this, and he has a book also. It's called The Business of Story. I want to show you guys what his ideology is behind selling and all that. So anytime you watch any superhero movie, for example, or any movie that is a blockbuster in general, they all, if you think about it, they all have a very similar pattern to their story. And the way the story works is there is always a backstory, and then there is a hero, and you can always relate to that hero in a way, on what struggles that the hero has. Then it kind of presents what is at stake. So the hero could be losing like all his family members, or they just robbed, and now he has to revenge or avenge for what's going on. And then there's some sort of bigger disruption, right? And then there are antagonists that are always against what the hero is doing. And then the hero finds a mentor of some sort. Now you can watch any Disney movie, right? Like whether it's like Lion King or Tarzan or even the latest movies that they came out with, they will all have a very similar and this exact pattern. So something made up, and Parker has done a lot of research in this, and interviewed a lot of big celebrities and what have you. In fact, I think he even runs his own little podcast. But the process is that he finds a mentor, then the hero begins the journey, then he finds a little victory, and then he finds a moral of what he needs to do, and then he begins creating a ritual in a way. And the reason why I'm sharing this is if you tell your story the right way, it definitely makes people want to relate with you, or not with you, but with the hero of the story. And you're not always the hero of the story. Just remember that you're presenting a person that is the hero of the story. If you look at any great out there, even the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, right, by Robert Kiyosaki, I think that's his name. Even if when you start reading the book, you will it will fall in the same exact pattern that we see over here, of how he was a poor dad, he had a rich dad and a poor dad, and how he learned and he made himself the hero of the story, and what was at stake, and how he started his journey, and how he gained his victory, and what was the moral that he learned, and what was his new ritual moving forward, kind of thing. And people tend to fall in love when you tell the story with this. And I'm not saying this just to say it. It's kind of ingrained in our almost like a lizard brain, like we are, habit of, I guess, emotion is what makes us who we are as humans. We are more emotional than we are logical in general. The story definitely connects people with the logical. Yes, the limbic area. That's correct, Barney. So we connect with people in a more fight or flight kind of emotional response method. So that's why most of the video sales letters that are successful, uh, you know, find that when they start selling a story, you can break the story into small pieces to leave a cliffhanger in a way, right? So you can tell in your first video, for example, you can tell them the backstory of how you were, where you were, what location you were, what kind of clothes you were wearing, to kind of relate to the person. And then the second story is where you can what the hero is, where the person is explaining what struggles that they have, what was at stake, they maybe had like $5 in their pocket, or like when they went to the ATM and nothing worked, right? Like telling that story and then bringing the disruption of what's causing, like what's out there. Like this is where the paradigm shift happens, right? Of how the general convention is, and how when that person started thinking outside of the general convention, that's when their real journey began. And then they found a mentor of some sort, or they did a lot of research, they found a person that could help them think through the process, or what have you. And that's where they view hanging that now I have to buy the full course, right? And so that's where the magic of telling the story and having the video sales letter being part of that, telling the story and breaking the story into smaller absorbable chunks makes big difference, right? And so what I want to do next is let me switch back to it. So kind of telling the story with your whole video sales letter. I've created a basic graphic, and we can jump inside the campaign builder just to explain this a little bit further. Give me just a second. Home phone that kept on ringing. That I didn't want to ring at the moment. So, but anyway, so you have a landing page where you drive your traffic to, and then you have launch promos where you're promoting the story that you're selling. And after that, you take them to the order form, and then you can do your upsell, downsell kind of offer to really take them into like an opportunity that you're selling your product on, right? And so kind of gives you a good visual representation of how you want to kind of think through building the campaign. And then what I want to do next is I want to kind of jump directly inside the campaign builder right here. And let's see.
You're just fine.
Okay, perfect. And so in my campaigns, I'll just go to this video sales letter funnel. And in Rorik, I'll use some of your help also. I just want to explain what I did in my campaign to create that whole offer opportunity. So I have, in fact, I need to delete this one. I was just testing it out. I have the entry page. So this is the entry landing page, and I have it already open. But what I want to do is, before I show it to you guys, go back there. Before I show it to you guys, I want to show you guys what the funnel looks like for me. And Rorik, maybe you can help us understand if I have done it better or if there's a better way of creating this also. Okay. So what I have is an entry page which pretty much collects an email of the year, so I can take them to the next video, the video part one of sort. And then in the sequence, what I want to do, and I have it left completely empty right now, Rorik, so you can kind of help identify how to tag items and everything. But the sequence idea is to have emails that go out automatically. So idea here is you can send out an email immediately after they fill out, and it just takes them back to the link of the first sales letter that we have. So email to first video, right? Something like that. After that, if and within that email that you're creating, what you want to do is the button that they click on, you want to tag that button in a certain way, in certain categories, so you can identify how your customers are, you're breaking down your customers into like prospects to leads to customers, what have you. So Rorik, if you don't mind explaining that process really quickly, I think some of the people that are attending may benefit from it. I had a gentleman yesterday. He said, "Hey, I signed up for Infusionsoft, but I'm completely lost. And I did the training thing, but I think I completely blanked out on half the things that I learned because it's a one-time training." So something like this might be a platform for those people to also understand some basics, I guess.
Are we kind of just looking to see how to get the email deliverability? What's the specific thing you're needing some input on?
Yeah, so one is email deliverability, and the second is how to tag the opportunities properly, so that once it is delivered, and how to essentially tag them better so that you can run better automations in a separate campaign.
Absolutely. So as far as deliverability, that's going to be of course just a classical combination of having like decision diamonds, so that they go in a direction based on what their experiences or their desires are, and a combination of using merge fields for personalization. Those two things combined, I've always found, are statistically going to result in the biggest increase in open rates and so forth. We can of course do an entire presentation for an hour long on that topic alone. So I'm going to kind of purposefully high level that one, because if we rabbit hole that one, it'll take up the rest of the call. But just kind of take that one as a side note there, and just if you haven't had a lot of experience in those two, do some research on merge field personalization and decision diamonds. The combination of those two will do wonderful things for your email open rates. And then as far as documenting for deliverability, it would be actually really easy. We could literally right here after the email to first video, if all that we really are concerned with is that it was delivered, we're not really concerned about tracking for open rates, those kind of things, we could literally just drag out and place the apply remove tag immediately after the email, and as soon as the email is delivered to our customer, it will apply a tag that says that has happened. The challenge with email opens is that even tracking an email open, we oftentimes get what are called false negatives. So we basically get a response back from any email servers, yep, it was delivered, but a lot of the times a customer could actually have an email client that for privacy and or security reasons doesn't report back to us that they've opened the email. And so oftentimes what I recommend to people is let's go ahead and tag not on the fact that the email was opened, but maybe what is the true end result. Is there a link click we want to see upon opening up that email? Is there an appointment set we want to have done? Those kind of actions. And again, for those, they're usually represented by a goal on the top level, and then after that goal, you would just have a tag applied icon in the next sequence that applies whatever tag you want to show that the event has happened after the email was delivered. But if we're looking to just simply have a tag to document that the email was delivered to customer, regardless of their actions afterwards, you could drag that apply remove tag icon from the process section there on the left and place that after the email, And then whatever tag you chose, when you open that up, it would apply that immediately upon sending the email to the customer in question.
Yeah,
There you go.
I can quickly create a tag that says opens email. I can also add them to different categories if I want to even get deeper into exactly what I'm doing with my business, with my campaign in general. So it definitely allows you to add those categories and everything to the campaign. And yeah, behind this is, you can always kind of go deeper and deeper into your campaign and really micro optimize it. Kelsey Bratcher, he is a big Infusionsoft influence person, and he's a really good friend of mine. And he always, the amount of optimization he does, it's insane. I've seen him do some very crazy, campaigns and what have you. And I just, when I look at them, I'm at awe of, how attention to detail he does to his items. So if I understand correctly, you may want to also attach tags in between of the campaigns also. Is that correct? Like once they've got one sequence to the next one, you want to kind of apply the tag either inside the sequence or out here that connects them to the landing page also, or something, right? The following sequence or something, right?
You can apply tags throughout the campaign, but keep in mind that the tag goals at the top level here, where it says tag applied, this differs from the tag icons inside of a sequence.
Okay.
So out of the sequence, that's the automation occurring, where it's actually placing or removing the tag. And here at top level, where we have goals and sequences, if we use the tag applied goal, instead of applying the tag, that's actually Infusionsoft waiting for the tag to be applied. So if we had a step where it was go no further until someone or through automation tag X, Y, and Z is applied, that's when we use it here at the top level. But you never use a tag goal at the top level here if your intention is to actually apply a tag. That should occur inside of a sequence.
Okay, thanks for that wisdom.
No problem.
So then what I want to do is I want to do two things. Explain the entire thing, and then we'll go into the couple landing pages that we have ready for you guys. So the first one is obviously, you bring the traffic, you run a sequence, and then you make the user sometimes wait for a day, or sometimes you want to take them immediately to the next opportunity. So you can take them, their email address, and then take them to the video part 1. And then say, hey, tomorrow I will be releasing another. Essentially, by the end of this, you will be launching this amazing product. And what you're doing is for the first 4 days, you're building the hype, and making sure that people attend at that one time that you'll be releasing the video and get them super excited, right? And they have a way to access the second video until they get that email in the inbox that tells them that, hey, the new video is up, or hey, here's the link on my Facebook for the new video that I just launched, right? So bring that sense of urgency that, yes, I need to go watch this because the first one that I watched was really amazing, and this person is definitely onto something with the video that they created, and keep them attached even in your videos. So essentially, what look over here is they're going from video 1 to video 2 to video 3, so on and so forth, until they get to the 4th video. That's when they do the ultimate reveal of the product that they are launching. This is where they can do like a one-time sale kind of opportunity with the video. So this page may look a little bit different than the other 3 videos in the sequence. And then over here you can do, the offer that you have. You can do a little upsell on your order form, where if they're buying this opportunity, they also have an opportunity to buy the entire course in different segments, however you're selling it. And you can make product purchase kind of a goal achieved. If people do not opt in after watching the last video, so they are kind of stagnant, and you're running this 72-hour sale of sort, where you want to close the sale within the 72 hours, you can run a downsell offer, and you can run that for the following couple of weeks with the automated sequence that takes them back to that order confirmation page where they can just simply click on the payment information area and fill up the information and purchase the product. Sometimes people, when they see the price, they almost get alarmed, where it's too much for them to afford at the moment, or too little. And through little emails that you send back to your customers, you can really continue to bring the awareness back to the first story that you started on, how the little commitment now can help them grow into the larger opportunity that's coming ahead of them. So with that in mind, what I want to do is, being cognizant of the time that we have, I want to jump into the landing page itself. I want to move this bar that's right above my thing. Okay, there. So what I have here is I've designed a very quick landing page, but I've kept conversion in mind. So at the top, we just have a simple header that just has the logo of the business. So this is where you'll be bringing traffic to. And it says, four-part video training, how to set up your first $10,000 marketing in 1 month with, the 5-step formula kind of thing, right? And this graphic over here, I just created quickly. So it's the same exact kind of a funnel picture that I showed in my presentation. I didn't have much time, so I just made that same exact picture and I posted it over here. And then, it says, what I show how this blueprint works, consistently bring to you new customers and sales kind of thing. And then over here it just says how to set up the first $1,000 marketing kind of thing. Video number 1 explains this, and I just have copied everything over and over. If I find time, I'll update this and I'll make this template available in the marketplace for you guys to use. So that'll be my to-do of today. After this webinar is to share with you guys this template inside the landing page builder marketplace, so you guys can take advantage of it to create landing pages for your business. And then speak of those micro yeses, those little yeses, what I have done on this page is there are 2 areas, over here and over here. They both say click watch now button for instant access, and this is the watch now button, right? And it's reiterating what people need to do, so driving people to actually want to click on your page. You want to bring their attention to this button in a way, right? And when you click on this button, the page simply scrolls down to this bottom part, and it's a very, very simple page. It shows what different videos will teach them. Underneath they have the watch now button, and underneath it there are 4, and I have just a basic thumbnail, so you can actually put the real thumbnail of your image of your video right over here and explain what the video is about. So instead of having video number 1, video number 2, you can actually change the text to make sense of what this video will cover right underneath it. And it's a very basic thumbnail that just shows them what different. And a lot of people, if you are on YouTube, you will see best YouTube channels and best YouTube videos have a really cool graphic to them. If anytime, by the way, I'll keep sharing links and resources that are always free. One of them being canva.com, canva.com. They allow you to pretty much have almost a Photoshop on your desktop. It's like a little graphic creator. So if you're creating a social media post or a post or what have you, you just click on one of them, and it's absolutely free. So I'll share the link, http canva.com, and it helps you create some really amazing graphics without you knowing how to create cool graphics or what have you. You don't have to be a designer. One of these templates, I can just click on it and it becomes available right over here, and then I can click on the text, and I can just change the text however I want. In the image in the background, I can click on that, and I can replace the image with whatever I want also. So I can click on this remove watermark, I think they may have some premium cost for removing watermark, but you can just remove this entire image from the back and just use something else instead. So right here, I I hit the delete button, and now I double click on it, or if I upload my own assets, I can literally drag and add that as my background image. So it's really cool and very easy to use, free tool. And once you're done, all you do is click on this download button and it downloads it on your desktop. So you can use this for all sorts of promotions. So whenever you are creating any kind of graphic, and if you need any help with the graphic, just remember that canva.com is free and you guys can use it. And you can even create these video thumbnails and messaging on each video what it could be, and just download it and upload it right over here. So it could be that easy. Underneath it, it just says, like, if you're truly into, like, making profit, kind of a little message. Underneath it, it's a person, who the person is who will be showing the video, and it has the get instant access. Now remember that every time you have a form, you can apply tags to the form to run a specific type of automation also. So if you want to make sure that this goes in a specific list of items, you can create a tag and add that tag kind of, to run different sorts of automation. So don't forget that. The way I created this design of the form is, obviously, when you drag out a form, it looks like this, up and down. If you just activate this, make this form horizontal, it becomes horizontal. One thing you will have to do is go to manage field, and when you're in the email, just make sure you hide this label. The label has to be hidden, otherwise it look funny. It look, something upside down and it's not working properly. But once you hide the label, I put that right over here. I also changed the text in here that says your best email, because sometimes people tend to pretend that, I'll put a fake email address in just to get to the video. So to prevent those kind of little things, when you say your best email, people actually become a little bit more interested. And underneath it, I have a little message that says we value your privacy and we will never spam you. So you can make items GDPR compliant if you're in the European countries. So, and I think Barney has a question, but is there a simple way to save and access the forms? Not at the moment, Barney. What you can do, however, in fact, I may make a note, and we just make different types of forms available over here. So, for example, a registration form or something, and you can just drag that out. So I'll make a note of that, and see if we can implement that, so we can have a few more widgets available. In this sense, I think if you click on Add Section, we do have forms right over here, where all the blocks that have different types of forms are available for you to pick from. So maybe this might be helpful also, to pick a form that's right for you and how you're generating your leads or what have you. So pre-made blocks are available in the section, so you can use that also perhaps. So depending on how that works. Then what I did was I created a second page. By the way, once I published the page, this is what the page looks like on the actual web. So you can see it looks really nicely designed, very simple. And then, when I click on this, it just takes me down here, so I can start filling out this form. Once I fill this form, what I have done is I connected my form using the form redirect options right here to my second landing page. This will be the video part 1 page, and I'll just jump onto that one. So this is my video part 1 page, and the way I created this design, and we'll look at the live version also. In fact, yeah, this is the live version. So same exact template. I used the same template to recreate the page and removed all the unnecessary things. So only kept the header and kept the footer. Everything else, what I did was, this will be the first part of the video. So, over here you can paste the link to your video. I recommend using Wistia when you're doing video sales letters, mainly because their links are a lot more secured, so people can't just access it in the open web. If you put something on YouTube, people can access on the open web. They'll just go to the channel or your account, and they'll look through different videos and what have you. So Wistia videos, I think it's a paid version, but it works better for if you're really serious about making some money on video through video sales letters on your product. I think that Wistia, I think Infusionsoft has partnership with Vimeo, so you can use either two, Vimeo or Wistia, and both are really great. We do support all these different formats of videos. If you're in different countries, maybe some other videos might be more beneficial to you. Underneath it, I have one row with 4 columns, and it just says you're watching. It's kind of making people aware that they're watching, video 1 of 2, video 2 of 2, everything that says coming soon, coming soon, coming soon, is to make people aware that, hey, you're watching this one and this one is coming soon. So in your video, you can explain. So tomorrow I will be showing you this, or tomorrow we will be talking about this. So you can break your video into smaller pieces. Underneath this, I have this very special snippet of code, and what it is actually this is the published version of the landing page. So here you can be playing the video. So once they submit this form, they go to this landing page, and here they're playing the video. Underneath it, you have the what the videos are coming about, and underneath it we have a Facebook comment widget. So you can actually have a live commenting widget where people can start commenting on it and start building the hype around it. Now, they added this comment widget on the page was you go to this link, and I'll paste this link in our chat so you guys can access it. And it's a very simple, 3-step process where you can click on, choose the comment link, so you can have a Facebook page where you're having the same exact videos that you're releasing. So not only can you release the videos on your ads, but you can also run Facebook campaigns to be even more effective with it. And then what they do is they tell you to copy some code and paste it on your page. And over here underneath it, it literally has a generator, so it even makes it simpler, so you don't have to do this copying and pasting. What you can literally do is you can paste the link to your Facebook post that you may have made, right? So for example, I'll go to my Facebook really quick, and I don't post much on my Facebook. I only keep it to help customers. But I think one of my latest posts is the weekly webinar thing, right? So what I can do is I can close this, and I can open this. So if I click on this, it gives this link right over here. So I can literally copy this, right? And that's what I want to paste right over here. So if I paste it right over there, and then it asks me what, and it says comment is no longer available. Well, for what reason I may have it private, my post may not be public or something, right? But you can paste the, you don't need to worry about changing the width of it, but once you click on this get code button, it gives you pieces of codes. Now if you follow the instructions, it says include the JavaScript on your page once, ideally right after opening body tag. So it says right after opening body tag right here. So when you're inside the page builder, what you want to do is you go to the launch, and we have right here, it says after opening body tag. So this is exactly where you want to paste the first snippet of code. So we try to make it as simple as possible for you in any page builder. But all you do is copy this and paste it. And in the second one, it says place this wherever you want on your page, the widget to appear. So this is the one that I pasted in my landing page builder right over here. So back in here, where my code snippet is, that's where I pasted that code. So that's how simple it is to bring Facebook comments on your page. I may even record this and add a YouTube video or something on this, but it is that simple to add Facebook comment on the page. Add it over here, add it over there, and then once you launch it, you have a Facebook comment. Now I kept the general one that Facebook gives just for the examples of this, but you can see how you can make a post public, and then you can available on your website as a widget, just like that. So with that kind of said, and having shared the resources, what I want to do is we have about 15 minutes, and I want to kind of open the floor on any comments, questions, or anything that you guys may have done so far. So I know you have been watching these webinars, and if anything that you have implemented or put in practice, I'd like to hear from you guys, or even Rorik, if you want to share something else, more than happy to accommodate for that also. And obviously, I want to keep this kind of screen open while we are having the discussion. If what would you like to see next? I do have some really, 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 really cool guests lined up that may be interested in joining the webinar in the coming weeks. I'm not going to say the names yet, but they have done amazing job with their landing pages, and they are getting a lot of success. A lady, I think her name is Jessica, she started getting 1,500 opt-ins just from creating a landing page and posting it on her Facebook, and all the methods that she did. I'd love to have her on. And then I have another gentleman who's even higher in terms of a celebrity status, who's shared his interest in success that he's had using the landing pages and what they did differently that gained them those. So would love to hear from any of you guys. I think Barney just posted saying we are writing the content to implement the landing page designs you have and learning how to execute the technology that works with. Yeah, free, and anytime any of you ever have any questions about anything, feel free to click on this help button on the top right corner. The live chat does have myself and Kaveen always on it, so we do tend to respond within the same day, if not immediately. If you are available, then we do respond immediately and help you right away. So anytime you feel stuck, anytime something's not working, anytime you have questions that are out of the blue and you just want an answer, feel free to message them right over here. Obviously, I keep an eye out on Facebook and what have you, but inside a landing page builder would be the best way to keep a record of what type of questions you guys may have and how we can address it directly. So yeah, anything else anybody has? Rorik, do you mind sharing anything in terms of the campaign? Maybe commenting on how I've created this fun-looking long trail campaign, if I can do anything better on here or anything?
Great. The only thing that I would say, and it's such a small detail, but this is especially if it's a campaign that somebody else will be looking at, is you want to avoid as much as possible left arrows. So like right there where we see the sequence coming down into the video part 1 goal, just make sure that you reposition, because the challenge here is you can't tell by just glancing if it's feeding into one and then bouncing backwards, if it's coming directly from the goal. Very small, minor things like that have an impact. And especially, for the partners that are listening in, this becomes doubly important when we're dealing with campaigns that you're selling to another party. Because, of course, as the architect of any campaign, you can glance at a campaign and really get an idea of what's happening where. Once we start dealing with folks that are not the architect, somebody that just purchased the campaign, and they open it and they can tell at a glance what is into where, when this happens, does it move to the right? Is it bouncing to the left? Those kind of situations just cause a lot of headache and confusion that we really want to avoid. Otherwise, everything here looks great. I would say I have to, of course, do a deep dive into it, but we have the goal sequence, driving them. Each sequence, of course, usually starts with kind of a response to an action they just took, and then becomes more of a call to action, driving them towards accomplishing whatever that next goal is, the landing pages in these cases. So no challenges that I see from this one, but of course, as you know, I'm always happy to take a look at them as we move forward in the future and see what we can do as far as improvement, efficiency-wise, message-wise, to make it more effective.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Again, if I spoke a little too fast today, was really because I had so many things I wanted to cover in the limited time of period of time that I have with you guys. So, apologize if I spoke a little too fast, if it went over your head. Feel free to post a message, and I'll be happy to respond to those and why I made the decisions that I made and why I created the page the way I made it. But essentially, once you have part one done, it's very easy to use the same exact template to recreate it for page two. You can even, in part two, you can, instead of having a very basic look of just, what video they're watching next, underneath it, you can have a resource link. So, for example, in this video, if you're sharing something back with your customers, you can just have a link to your PDF or something as a button that they can click on, and they can download that resource to follow along with your video sales letter also.
Awesome. Love it. And I say for me, you didn't speak too fast, but I tend to speak really fast myself. So maybe it's because we both are, on like the 125% speed. So, but the good news is, again, folks, that we do have an archive of all of our landing pages on Fire. So the same page that you went to jump right to us today, if you go to the bottom of the page, there is a little archive there. It will always show the most recent video. But if you kind of hover the right-hand side where it says playlist, I believe right now we've got about 4 of them up there, and we'll keep on adding each time as we keep on moving in that direction.
Yeah, just a page, and right over here, once the internet gods allow them to load the playlist, here are all the different webinars that we've covered so far, and this would be the 6th addition to the webinars series. So, yeah.
Well, I have no additional stuff from my side. Let me check see if we have any kind of questions. Of course, if anybody has any kind of questions or comments, throw them in the chat there. We can definitely get those answered for you. But if we have no additional questions, we can potentially go ahead and just end a few minutes early, give everybody back a few minutes of their day, and get us cranking away, getting that recording up for you in the archive, and let Drew get a little bit of a mind break to start preparing the amazing content I'm sure he'll have for us for next week as well. So I don't see any questions here at all. Thanks, Barney, for the see you next week. We'll definitely the same bat time, same bat channel next Wednesday. So, well, Drew, as always, thank you so much. I love coming here. I'll say I've been using Infusionsoft for going on 9 years now, both as a user, as an employee for a small company, use it in my own small business, talk customers, teach partners now, and I walk away from this every time with some little nugget of knowledge that I did not have. So keep on coming back, folks. We guarantee, there'll be those weeks that you walk away and it might reformat how you do a major part of your business. Maybe it's something small, but you'll definitely walk away knowing something that you did not know when you joined our little session here. So, Drew, as always, thank you so much. I look forward to again next week. Everybody else as well. We will look to hear from you all. Keep on Facebook where we're going to drop the little reminders and invites. And again, hop out to that landing page that brought you here for that archive, and we'll go ahead and let you review all of the amazing stuff that's there. Until then, everybody have a wonderful remainder of your day and week, and we look forward to talking to you again next week. Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks.